What's poppin', crackers? It's me, Tatty G, and I thought I'd make a little video showing off my texturing process for my project to see if you guys might learn a thing or two from it. I mean, maybe, maybe not. It is what it is. But yeah, here we go. We have our little thing here. So, first off, once you've got your UVs all settled out, and for the record, I did attempt to make a whole video where I started off by making the fence and all that, but I did such a shit job in narrating it, and I'm just a bit too busy to go back and redo it. We're going to continue from here and act like it's its own tutorial. So, save it wherever you want. I'm going to save mine to the desktop, and we will make it 512. Some people will say go 256. My method is, if it is too high res for the look, you can always downscale. You can't really upscale very well. It's a lot easier to do it that way. So yeah, get that ready, and then we'll hop on to your editor of choice. Mine is Adobe Fireworks. Alright, so now we're in Fireworks, and we have our UV set up, and I have a couple different wood textures. Probably not going to use this one. I'm probably going to use this one. There are lots of resources you can find online for this sort of thing. Not in this video, I won't be going over the use of Shoebox, which is a lovely little app which I have. I'm not sure who to credit for it. I'll still leave a link in the description in case someone has been looking for it. But it's really good for getting textures. And also, sorry, if my voice is a little bit hoarse and horrible, it is because I have a bit of a sore throat, and I thought it had gone away, and it appears to not really have done so, but that's okay. So in this instance, you can see the size is a bit too small for this actual thing. What we're going to do is we'll scale it down, and we will throw it up here, and then we will just let it. Sure, alright. So we'll save that. And then let's have a look at it in Blender. Alright, so it's in Blender, just to have a little test look. Looks pretty okay. You know, it's only so much you can really scrutinise going for this particular kind of look. You can get a look. Apologies. You can have a look around, see if you know, it's as seamless as you like. For this sort of object, it's less important, but it is always good to check. Don't worry, it doesn't look amazing right now, but we will fix that. Yep. So important setting details, material. I always do a diffuse. Image texture, of course, and set the texture interpolation to closest. Otherwise, you'll be stuck on a linear by default, and it is a bit blurrier. Again, in this instance, it's a bit hard to tell, but it can be more precise. For example, I think this black line will go away if I go to closest. No, but it is more defined. Sometimes that happens. The smaller the texture, the more likely it is to happen. So we can continue the process and fill up some of these boards. Of course, there is these. These are the boards. There are far fewer individual board things than there are boards, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be wholesomely unique every time. If you really want to, kudos to you for doing that, but I am not going to do that this time, in the favour of time. So let's just go through it. Okay. See? Right. And then there we go. And you can be even more imprecise with that if you want to. I am just very particular. So here we go. You can see how it sort of Created 4 unique bits. This mark in particular stands out, actually. So what I might do real quickly is, I think what I'll do is this one, this one, this one. I will mirror. Nope. Wrong axis. Am I stupid? Oh, duh. That's there. Ignore that. That's just me doing a flub. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. Good enough, I'd say. If we look at it in rendered, it's even harder to tell. So, I'll finish up. Oh, I'm an idiot. I've just seen what I've done, and you guys probably saw it at the time lapse and screamed at me. Alright, so I'll just do a time skip. And, yeah. Once it's done, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so, here we are. Oh, yes. Don't worry, I'll fix that. That's relevant. I'll fix that in between the next cut. So here we are. Alright? Lovely. Lovely, jubbly. We have all this sorted out. As you can see, I've even trimmed a bit off the top so it will match where the top of this is. So, what's the next step? I think you'll ask. We do a bit of tweaking. We do a bit of tweaking. Let's call we do a bit of tweaking. We don't need this at the moment. So what I usually do is have kind of vaguely darker textures, just because the game, well, Bluebell is going to be a dark environment for most of the time. Getting textures that match this opacity is usually good. So this is good. Up the contrast a little bit. You can see there's some of the green weathering there from old moss and stuff. That's always good. So if we just repeat this, boom. That's honestly almost pretty much spot on, I'd say, already. I don't think I tweaked the hue much either. Could still downscale it. I might save a separate instance, just in case I want to. I'll test it in engine soon. I will say that the poles are alright. They just look a bit darker, I think, through the rendering. That's not even the rendered side. This is the rendered side. Alright. Okay. Awesome sauce. So, fuck it. That'll be quick. I will show you a couple more tricks. I like to sometimes... I've done this. One thing I might do is I might... actually, tell you what I'll do. I'll save... I'll copy this layer, paste it again, and then I'll sharpen it. But if it's too sharp, I simply lower the opacity. There you go. But I think... Nah, I will get rid of that. But that's another thing that might help. Don't forget as well, there is also hue and saturation. See if I tinker with this a bit. That's not going to be so good because it's quite, you know, muted and neutral colours. But you could do some of this, do some of that. Faff it about. Probably wouldn't do what I'm doing exactly. There's also lightness too. Loads of little tricks. So there's 2 more major steps before we stop, really. I will very quickly save this. And then I'll save it as... cube. What am I doing? Fence 512. And then I will open cube. There we go. So we'll keep going from here. And then, right. Color quantizer. Baby. Alright, so we'll bring this up. Yep. 2x2. Just save. There we go. So what this baby does is it sort of neutralizes the amount of colors to a degree, and gets it more in line with you know, that sort of era's aesthetic. I'm fumbling a lot on the right terms. It makes it look genuine. It's a bit hard to tell here because it is again not so many colors, but if I take it down to say 4, there we go. Even then it's a bit neutered, but that's also because we want to click on Bayer dithering or pattern. I'll show off all of them. It's okay. This is actually a really shit example now that I think about it, because there are so few colours, but it does really help. Yeah, this isn't always a necessary step, but generally I do it. If I do this, will it make the green come back? A bit, yeah, a bit. If I bump the threshold for red colours. Okay, I don't know how much that really helped. Yeah, okay, that doesn't like it. Colours. There we go, that's a bit stronger. There you go, look at that. If it was, again, if it was like a 256 texture, you could really see it. So we'll settle for this. You can even increase the dithering amount. Doesn't change a whole lot. I'll just keep it down to around 75. I don't like there being too much, for it being too obvious. So we'll save this as fence Q. So now we have the quantized version. So that leaves us with only one more real thing worth doing, and that is desktop, fence Q, and then right, yes, we go here, copy the UV map, and you'll see why. Right, so now we have this. We'll keep it like this. And now we're going to do shading. Now the first and most obvious thing to do when shading is, actually real quick, I'll get the Q up so you guys can see the difference in the engine. So if I zoom in, I say in the engine in Blender. There you go. Not immediately noticeable at a glance, but it's there. Alright. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. Here we go. So, what you want to do is get a cube, and then, let's say about, oh yes, make sure the fill color is black. Let's say about here. We are going to do the shade from the ground. So we're going to do a multiply, and then in this instance we're going to do a linear. So you can see, that's where the bottom of the pole will be, and that's where the dark shade will, the dark shade will climb. So we'll put that at about here. We'll save it, and then it won't have changed yet. So if you do this, then we can close this now. And then you can see, before the change, there is a plugin, so it does it automatically, but I like doing this. And then, boom. Again, not a major difference. You can do some more tweaking if you want. In fact, I'll show you it a bit stronger. Let's pump it up to 60. Usually I stick to about 30, but I've actually been experimenting with harsher shading. I think it looks kind of nice. There you go. So that alone is its own difference. And then we can really amp it up. You don't strictly have to do this part, I guess, because the fence posts aren't touching the ground. Not the fence posts, the fence boards aren't touching the ground. That's generally what I save this part of the shading for. But they're close enough, it won't really make a difference. Did I get that in the lines? No. I'll very quickly tweak it. It's annoying clicking and dragging these things, by the way. They sort of warp a bit and distend, so be careful. Let's say about 60. It's not as high, but it should. Let's get it side by side. We'll make it bigger. A lot of this is your mileage will vary. Actually keep the original there. We'll see if that might make a stronger gradient. Usually I'll delete it, but I'm going to try something here. Yeah, alright. That looks good, don't you think? You can always tweak it. We'll just keep going for now, so you guys can just get the gist of it. So, alright, and then we'll also want to do some from here. Whenever there is a recess, always put a shading thing. If you wanted to, you can be really particular about some of these. I think I might show you, actually. Just to be... I'll save it for the end, though. We will do this. And in this instance, a quick way to do it... A quick way to do it could either be this, and then you go... Oh, fuck it. No, there's no point showing you that. I'll save that. There's an alternate way, depending on how your UV is laid out, to make it quicker to do two ends at once or what have you. But I'm not going to bother showing you now, it would just be a waste of time. Right. Because this is just fine. Just copy paste. Nope. Copy paste. I will show you as well, actually. On that note, you can do things like tweak this, make the gradient less strong, or, you know, place it around. I usually leave it default. But yeah, if I back out, I can show you this. very nice. And don't worry, I will show you at the end of this part what to do about that bit, don't worry. And then, okay, here's a recess. Now, this is going to be, well, it's not even going to be that much more complicated. So we know that it's here. Let's say, like this. Flip it. I guess I could have done the top bit first. There is darken as well. Darken works pretty well. I'll show you the difference. But it is more closer to the edge and less effective, so I don't generally use it that much. So let's just do this real quick. There we go. Maybe make this part less strong. We'll lower the opacity. There we go. So if we look here, we can see it. And then... it does look a bit strong. From a distance, you know what? It looks actually really good from a distance. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. Again, if you think it's worth tweaking, you can do so yourself. I've just realised something I might have fucked up, actually. Not strictly. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, God, my voice. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought I did something different with these UV faces, but I didn't. There is another thing you can do. One more thing that I like to do, that is to say. I will demonstrate, actually, by using one of these. Which one? Okay, I know where this is. Let's say... yeah, we'll do that one. It's darker, so it'll be easier to see the difference. Okay, so... that one. Alright. So we're going to do another box. We're going to change this to contour or rectangle, but I prefer contour. And we're going to go up here. Doesn't have to be one-to-one in this particular type of thing. Alright, we're going to get rid of the UV because we don't need that at the moment. And then we're going to do average. And then we're going to lower it down to, say, 20. Okay. So you see the little difference it made? Let me show you on and off. Eh? Eh? It might not look like much, but if I show you here, keep an eye on this block, you know, whatever, you can see that it will become a bit, it's a very minor detail, but it works, I find. That one isn't always necessary, depends on what kind of object you're doing, but I like to do it. So, we shall copy-paste this across. I will leave off the little side bits, because that will not really be visible anyway, so it'll be a bit of a waste of time to try them. And then, for this, I would not go all the way to the top and worry about that. I'm probably going to do it a bit more like this. There we go. Average. Well, that's about 14. Okay, and then... oh, sorry, my nose is a bit runny. Not runny. Lovely. Blah, blah, blah. Let's wrap it up. Okay, I got an idea. They don't have to be perfect with each other. But I'm going to make it 30, just to be OCD. And you see there is a bit of a seam up here. Again, something that people might not necessarily notice. Really, I'm just going to demonstrate how little it matters that you get 100% precise. I've tried for so often, but it just doesn't always work. You just got to deal with what you do. With what you've got, said Tatty Gun Cancer. Boom, there you go. It's a very minor detail, but it works, and there you go. We have an fence. There might be things you might tweak about it. I might actually maybe lower the strength of some of these. In fact, if I go down here, get rid of that. Yeah, it's a bit more easier on the eyes. So there you go, you have this. Now from here, you can do some tweaking in that. because this is almost kind of modular, one fun thing you can do is, you know, Shift D, take it over here, and then you can make an alternate version. In fact, you can even go here, and then just merge them. So say maybe on this bit you might think, oh, I think this plank should be falling down, this stupid, ugly little board. You can maybe get rid of that. That looks good. Maybe you could have it, you know, linked to the side a bit. Maybe probably more like this. There you go. That's good. Another little break-up thing. You can do loads. You could even, if you wanted, you could use a knife and go like this. I don't know why I made that cut there. Actually, ignore that. And then, did that cut through to the other side? No, it didn't. That's annoying. And then you can just sort of match it. Actually, you know what we will do? Ah, fuck it. You can cut it out and you can put stuff down. Like, look at this. Oh, God, I hate when it does this. Whatever. Well, I guess I'll just fuck off and die then. Yeah, here you go. A fence. Textured and ready for... Oh, yes! I almost forgot. This. So, real quick, I'm going to do this. Edge loop. Edge loop. Right, so you select this bit, and what have you, and you can go back to here, and then forget this. This bit is irrelevant. In fact, this guy, fuck off. So now, UV, support that wherever you want. Documents. Then we'll open it up in Fireworks. Okay, so now it's in Fireworks. And now we know that the bit where the board connects to the actual post is here. So what we can do is do this. And this part doesn't particularly matter. You can just make it whatever. I'll just make it a solid black so it's easier to see. And then, get rid of that. You can go to Filters, Glow. And then this part isn't as precise. But you can. I've also recently started fucking around with this. So if you do that, then you make it. Okay. There we go. Let's try that, and then we save that, and then we look here. It should look like a bit of shade. You can maybe afford to make it bigger, but it looks like there's a sort of hole that it's going into, or whatever. There you go. Rinse and repeat for the rest of it. Bosh, there you go, a fence. Oh, right. Alright. Maybe I'll make a third one of these, yeah? So you can do that individually. But fuck it. Same difference. Alright, well, that was the texturing style thing tutorial. Yeah, it was... I thank you very much for putting up with my nonsense. Why am I thanking you? This is to help you. And I hope you learnt something. If you have any questions, please ask them in the description. I'm more than happy to answer. If you need any links or anything, I'll see what I can do. If I forgot to put them in the comments or description, of course. So yeah, I will say thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a pleasant day. And good luck. Ta-ta for now.